interrupted. Okay, so support the people that made these pictures and support the person that made this what if idea, because I'm not the creator of this what if idea. So let's get this started. So we start with the story when Deku's born. Deku's gonna be quirkless as Hasashi because Hasashi's quirkless as well, and Hasashi has white hair too. Um, Inko is normal Inko still. Um, what else? Yeah, no. We're on time skip 4 years, and then Inko knows that Deku's quirkless, and Hasashi did go overseas already, and Bakugo still thinks quirks are everything. Without a quirk, you're a Deku, useless. And Deku feels different. It doesn't feel same as other kids without a quirk. Because we're gonna say it's still 2% of the population is quirkless. 2%. But Deku does feel different because he feels more stronger than a normal kid that's 4 years old. Like faster, stronger. He feels. And we're gonna time skip to the beginning of the school year. No, beginning of the anime. And Deku does still get bullied from Bakugo, but Deku doesn't really feel the exposures anymore. He's almost immune, but if that Bakugo does explode him, he's gonna feel sting. Not too much of a whole like mark and then hurting a lot for like 2 days. It just leaves a little sting, and after a while it goes away. Still recording. So, in the beginning of the anime, people still laugh at him for trying to apply for UA because he's quirkless. And Deku has been hearing a few things about. No, no, no. Should I? No. I'll keep that for the next episode. No, I mean the next part. And the next part I should make it. Yeah. So, but Deku is depressed from all the times he's been getting bullied and mocked at, and Bakugo bullying him and everything. Deku is barely hanging on, and Bakugo does still tell him the speech of B-listers and everything, and Bakugo still does say he should take a swan dive off the roof and hope you get a quirk in the next life, which doesn't break Deku because he knows Bakugo would say that, but he still felt bad. And Deku does go under the bridge and get attacked, which he can't do anything because it's still a sludge. Can't really do anything to sludge. And doesn't have a quirk either. So Deku does almost get knocked out from not getting enough air in his lungs and passing out. But All Might goes to the corner. I am here, and I think Almighty, I was about to say Almighty Push, Texas Smash, I think, whichever one, and blows the Sludge Villain away. Sludge Villain does get knocked out. He does get put inside the bottle. And Deku does still grab onto his leg and just say, can I become a hero without a quirk? And All Might does say, no, you cannot, and everything. But off you say, become a officer or something. Which Deku does get broken, and he just hit rock bottom, most depressed as it can be, and he does have thoughts of jumping off the roof, but he doesn't want to do it just yet, which you shouldn't do. Alright guys, if you do have thoughts of jumping or committing, please get some help, please. Alright, let's get back into the story. And Sludge Villain still does get dropped, and he does. He still does try to help Bakugo, even though he's been bullying him, which Deku does hit one of the eyes of the Sludge Villain when he threw his whip bag, and he almost popped out Bakugo out of the Sludge Villain, but All Might stepped in and punched him and knocked him out. And he's still getting what's it called? I don't know, like when the heroes scolding him for almost he could have died and everything. In which Baku got praised for lasting that long. And All Might did join in Deku scolding for almost dying and him being quirkless and everything. And which Deku started going to the school and going to the roof, did jump, and flashes of memory start going by, and before he hit the ground, the pavement, he saw somebody random he never seen before. It was this guy. I'm not going to give you the name just yet. This guy, and Deku does. He hits the pavement and everything goes white, and he sees him, which Deku says, "What's your name?" And he says, "Ace." "And what's your name?" He says, "Izuku Midoriya." And Midoriya says, "What's your last name?" "Ace." And Ace says, "I don't have one." Which he doesn't. And because Ace is a demon, he tells Deku, and Deku is still alive, but Bakugo was chasing him and did see Deku jump and everything, and called the ambulance, and got him to emergency room. And yeah, and he was in a coma for a week. And over that week, Ace was telling him what he did in the underworld, and he was the second in command for Lucifer, and didn't like Lucifer's ideals over millennias. He did change, because back then he only cared about killing and that's it, but it was flawed, Lucifer's mind, so he left, losing all his powers, but he knew he was gonna lose all his powers if he left, so he found a way how not to lose his powers by combining with somebody or merging with them, which was Deku. He merged with, and that's why Deku felt different, more stronger, more faster, and he was faster and stronger than other kids, smarter than other kids, more got immunity more faster. Like if he got the flu, he wouldn't get the same flu again. He would get a different type of flu. Or if he got the cold, he wouldn't get the cold again because his body would adapt to it more faster than other kids. And he was telling them that, and he doesn't really have a last name. And over that week, he was no, he wasn't training, but I am gonna tell you this: he did train before he even met Ace. So he was lean, but not lean as he can. So he did go to a gym and train, but not as much as he can. He put himself in a limit bar that he didn't want to pass, like 20 minutes and doing such and such much weight and adding a little bit of weight, but just stopping at that time and that much weight. After he hit that much weight, he didn't want to push himself more, so he just kept himself like that. But he was pretty lean, but Ace told him to stop that and push his body to a limit. If you want to become a hero, you have to push your body to a limit. You can't just hold yourself back. Even if you don't have a quirk, still go all out if you want to become a hero. Because Ace might be a demon, but he just doesn't want to be like him in the past. He does want to change. He wants to help somebody that wants to do good. And Ace saw his chance, so he took it. And Ace did tell him what his abilities were, which I'm gonna get to you, tell you them in the next part because I don't feel like telling them right now. But we are going all the way to the entrance exam, so because Deku did wake up the last day of the week, so he does have 9 weeks and 3 weeks, 9 months and 3 weeks. Yeah, 9 months, 3 weeks. Yeah, 9 months and 3 weeks. Yeah, 9 months and 3 weeks, or 9 months and 2 weeks to train. So, over 5 weeks, he did learn how to summon a katana. And it's this katana. He did learn how to summon this katana. Over 10 weeks, and over 10 months, he learned how to summon a katana. Put all his energy into one place or one item and making this weapon, a katana. Making a katana. And we're gonna time skip again to 4 weeks and 2 months. 4 months and 3 weeks or 2 weeks, whichever one. And he does learn one more ability to stop times, but at a certain place or a certain person. So it's like the world, but at a certain location or a certain place. Which, yeah. And I hope you don't hear that in the background, but and he does start going to the entrance exam, and he does look like this. I probably might get a better picture in the next part, but this is what he looks like, and he does go in, and don't get me wrong, he still studied, and can't make my Deku dumb. So he is smart, He's big brain. His IQ is like at 169, like at 200 IQ. And mm, yeah, 200 IQ. And he can be smarter than Nezu, but he placed in third place in the written exam to give mm, the other people a chance. So the two people that got in front of him was Momo and what's his name? Todoroki. I can't remember his name. Todoroki. And what else? No, let's go into battle exam. Yeah. The battle exam, he demolishes on robots. But before we go into that, we're gonna before the Mr. Mike says 1, 2, 3. There's not a real timer in the real battle. That Ida doesn't bother him because Bakugo didn't speak to him because Bakugo was pretty traumatized with him jumping and everything. So he didn't speak to him, and Deku didn't mumble, so there's no reason for Ida to bother him. But Ida bothered him when he was going to the front of the line, or the front of the gate, and Ida thought he was going to, yeah, Oraka bother her, and Ida says, "Are you going there to bother her and lower her chances of getting in?" Which Deku says, "No, why would I?" Which Ida does think it over, and it's a pretty dumb question he asked. So he just backs off and goes, which Deku does summon the katana. And summons the katana. Don't want to name it because it says right there, but I don't even know how to say it. And he does start demolishing the robots because Mr. Mike does still say there's not a real timer in a real villain attack. So he does go, and over 5 minutes, he did gain up to 56 points. And the second highest is 45 points, which is Bakugo with 45 points. And in the end, before he goes saves Oraka, he has 80 points, and Baku has 62. 62. Whatever, we're in like a bottom three. They're in whatever, whichever one's got in. And Deku does go help Oraka because she did yell out for help, and everybody else was running. And Baku is not, like, they're still in the individual places and everything. They're not in the same place and everything. But Deku does help Oraka with him stopping time. The 0-pointer, he did stop time, the 0-pointer. So before the 0-pointer stomped on Oraka, he stopped time on the 0-pointer. And everybody thought, why did it stop moving? Did the teachers stop it or something? But the teacher didn't do it, so they were surprised who did it. They looked around, they saw a student holding out their arm, and looks like stopped. and everything. So Deku does move to go help Uraraka, which he does save Uraraka and use the katana to cut the Zero Pointer to pieces. And Deku does look like this. He does have a big white gown thing on him and those black pants. This is from anime, this character. I forgot what the anime is called, but probably put in the description, I think. If I don't know it, I won't. But he looks like this with the robe on, not off. And Deku does take Uraraka to the Miss the healer. I forgot her name. Whatever her name was again. I'm gonna remember it. I'm gonna be so mad, bro. I'm gonna remember her name. Whatever. But he takes it to her, and yeah, this is where I'm leaving it off. See you guys.